In this video, we're looking at this UTME question on variation. You know, GMMB Academy is a team of teachers that we have a lot of teachers that teach maths, chemistry, physics, accounting, and then a lot of them. So our professor will be coming out to the board to take you this time mathematics. You know, we have a lot of mathematics teachers, but this one is one of the most top mathematics teachers that we have. His name is Professor Dali Sampson. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Alright, good afternoon. In our previous class, I just explained the application and the approach as the mathematical expression to deal with variation. So now we're going to look at these questions, and the UTME question of variation. Alright, now starting with the first question. Now we have this. I said, if y varies directly as w raised to the power 2, when y equals to 3, sorry, when y equals to 8 and w equals to 2, find y when w is 3 is equals to 3. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to determine or know what type of variation is this. You should know that this is what? Direct variation. This is direct variation. Why? Because it says y varies directly. So this is direct variation. So now, how will I what? Express it in form of mathematical approach. Now, how do I express this word problem? Now look at the way I'm going to express this word problem. See the way I'm going to do it. They said y varies directly. Y varies directly. We know that this is direct variation. So that is y varies directly. That is the y. This is the y. Varies directly as w squared. That is w raised to the power 2. W raised to the power 2. So this is the relationship. Then what am I going to do? I can now say that my y, this sign will now turn to what? Equal sign, then w raised to the power 2. Then what next am I going to do? You must introduce your constant. You must include your constant. Now how do I include my constant? The constant should be at your right hand side because this one is dependent variable. So y will now be equals to k w raised to the power 2. You are using the constant to multiply this dependent variable. So now, this is independent variable, while this one is dependent variable. So that's why we are using the constant, which is the k. Now, after we have done that, now you can see that they gave us some information that when y equals to 8 and w equals to 2, you can see the first information given to us. Make sure that when you are dealing with variation, the first information given to you is for you to find your constant. The first information given to you is for you to find your constant. That's why they give you the full information. Now we need to find our constant. Now, how do I find my constant? I'm going to find my constant relating to this. We are going to use this to get our constant. That is, this is the relationship of the variables. That is, and it is a direct variation. So now, given to us that y is equals to what? 8. And w equals to 2. So I'm going to substitute those variables, that is the alphabet there, in place of the value given to us here. Now that y equals to 8 and w equals to 2. So when I see my y, I'm going to put 8. Whenever I see my w, I'm going to put 2. But we don't know the value of k because we're not given the question. So that is why we have to look for our constant, which is the k. Now, y equals to 8. So in place of the y, I'm going to put 8 there. Because y is 8 equals to my k. I don't know the value of k, so I'm still going to put my k. Now the w, that w is what? Is equals to 2. So I'm going to put my 2 in place of w. Now I'm putting this bracket because of there's a power. So I'll now put my power raised to the power 2, which is 2 there. Now what next am I going to do? Then my 8 is still there equals to k. Now 2 raised to the power 2. 2 raised to the power 2 means 2 times 2. 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 will give me what? 4. Now I can write this in this form. It means 8 equals to 4k or k4. 4k or k4. Now, in terms of variation, we need to make sure that the unknown is always be at the left hand side. It must be at the left hand side. So you are looking for the unknown. That is, you make that K when we talk about subject of the formula. When they ask you to find the subject of the formula of any equation or any expression or different expression, the one you are looking for or the unknown should always be at the left hand side. So I'm going to do that in this case. So I'm going to have 4k equals to 8. What do I do? A transpose or a transverse. That is, I'm taking this to this side, I'm moving this to this side. So while moving to the other side, the sign will not change. The sign will not change because I'm taking everything. Everything from the right is going to my left, everything from the left is going to my right. But if, for instance, I have something like this, x plus 2 equals to 4. If I'm moving on this, that means the sign will change to be x equals to 4 minus 2. That is something like that. But if I write 4 equals to x plus 2, nothing will change. What do I do? Because I'm taking everything that is at my left hand side, I'm moving it to the right. Then everything at my right hand side, I'm moving it to my left. That is why the sign won't change. Alright? That one by the way. Now, coming back to what we're solving. Now we have 4k equals to 8. Now what do I do here? Because we want we are looking for the unknown, which is the k. So for me to get the unknown, I want the unknown to be alone. I want the k to be alone, to be independent. That's what we are saying, to be independent variable. Now what do? I will not divide both sides by the coefficient of k. That is, divide both sides with the coefficient of k, which is what? 4. Divide both sides with the coefficient of k. Remember, write it in full. Divide both sides with the coefficient . So, what do we have there? Which is what? 4. What do we mean by coefficient? Coefficient is the number that is close to what you are looking for. The coefficient is, that is the divided side with the coefficient of k, which is what? 4. Now, the coefficient of k, sorry, the coefficient of k is what? 4. So, that is, the coefficient of k is 4. Why is it 4? Because it is 4 that is close to the k. So now, I'll divide it by 4. So 4, we have 4k equals to 8. So I'm going to divide this by 4, divide this by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, 4 by 4 is what? 1. 4 here is what? 1, 4 in 8, 2. So my k equals to what? 2. So that's my constant. So my constant is what? 2. The value that is the constant there is what? 2. So now, I've gotten my constant. But the question is, find y when w equals 3. Find y when w equals 3. So when you are dealing with that, it's still that same relationship, which is still that direct variation. This is the relationship there. This is the relationship. This is the direct variation. So it is this relationship you use to solve the problem. That is the question. So I'm going to bring out this relationship, which is y equals to k w raised to power 2. That's the relationship, which is direct variation. Now we have to look for the what? The value of y when w equals to 3. So y, which we don't know, because that's what we are looking for. We are looking for the value of y. Y equals to, now I've gotten the value of k. My k is what? 2. So where I see my k, I'll replace it with 2. I'll substitute it with the value, which is 2. So here will be what? 2. Now what's my w? Now they gave us the value of w. The w here is what? 3. So I'm going to put 3 there. Then raised to power what? 2. So y will now equals to 2. So anytime you see brackets in mathematics, it's multiply. Multiplication is multiplication. You have to do 2 times. Now 3 raised to power 2 means 3 times 3, which is what? 9. 3 times 3, which is what? 9. So then we now multiply because of the bracket. So that is 2 times 9, which is what? 18. So the value of y is 18. So we have answered this. Now, what we call this, you need to determine what type of variation is this, which is direct variation. then we approach it by saying y varies directly, which is y varies directly as what? W squared. Then you follow the procedure, then the sign turns to what? Equal sign. Then you now introduce your constant because you don't know the constant. Because the first thing you need to do is you need to identify your constant, you need to find your constant. Then that is by the way. So now let's go to the next question where we have this. So I'm going to clean this up. Alright, so now the second question is y is inversely proportional to x when y equals to 6. When y equals to 6 and x equals to 5. Find y when x equals to 4. Now, how do I solve that? Y is inversely proportional to x when y equals to 6 and x equals to 5. Now, the first thing you need to know is you need to determine what type of variation it is. This is called indirect variation, or you call it inverse variation. So now, the next thing you need to do is what? Y is inversely proportional to x. So the inverse of x is going to be 1 over x because I said inverse. So to be the inverse of x, which is 1 over x. So now what's the value of y? So the first thing you need to do is you need to introduce your constant. So y will now be very inversely directly, then by k 1 over x. K, that is y varies inversely k 1 over x. Now the y will now turn to what? The side will turn to equal sign, then I have k times 1, which is k over what? X. Now y varies inversely, there's the inverse of x, 1 over x, then introduce your constant, then k times 1 k over what? X. Then you now try to substitute. Now we substitute by saying, now y is what? 6. So I'm going to have 6 here. Then by k, I don't know my k, so I'm going to put k over what's the value of x? Is what? 5. Then what do I do? I will what? Cross multiply. Or if you don't want to do it that way, you can also say multiply both sides by 5. Where did I get that? That's just the LCM. That's the LCM. So you multiply by 5 or you cross multiply. Now you cross multiply. Now this one we can multiply this k. So 1 times k, I'm going to have what? K. 1 times k will give me what? K. Then 6 times 5 will give me what? 30. So my constant is what? 30. But the question is find y when x equals to 4. Find y when x equals to 4. So you still make use of the relationship, which is the inverse variation or indirect variation. This is the relationship. So I'm going to make use of it by saying that this is y equals to k over x. Now we have to look for the value of y. So y will now be equals to, now I already know my k, that my k is what? 30. And they gave us x, that x is 4. Now 30 divided by 4, I'm going to have what? 7.5. 7.5. Yes, 7.5. So y equals to what? 7.5. So that is, by the way, that's the value of y. Now, I think this is clear. Now, let's look for the let's look at the next question here. Now, next question, they say p varies. Before that, let me clean this. I hope it's clear. Alright. If you have any question you don't understand, you can just drop a comment on the comment box. Now, we are going to look at the third question, which is p varies directly as q and inversely as r when q equals to 36 and r equals to 16. P equals to 27. Find the relationship. You can see that. Find the relationship between P, Q, and that of the R. Now, in this case, you need to know what type of variation is this. Now, this type of variation is called the joint variation. Joint variation. Why? The reason why is because we have, they say, varies directly and also what? Inversely. Can you see that? Directly and then inversely. So that's why it's joint variation. In this one, they just mentioned inversely, indirect. In this one, they say directly. That's direct variation. So P varies directly as Q and inversely as R. When Q equals to 36, R is 16, P is 27. Find the relationship between P, Q, and R. Please take note. Anytime you are solving variation, the first thing you need to do, you must ensure you find your constant. Very important. That's the first thing to do. Find your constant. And you should be able to identify what type of variation it is. You must be able to identify the type of variation it is. Now, in this case, this is joint variation. Now look at the one I'm going to answer this now. We have P very directly as Q. So P varies directly. P very directly as what? Q. And inversely as R. When I say inversely as R, that's the reciprocal of R, of the inverse of R, which I explained earlier before. If you go back to the previous video, the introduction of variation. Now, when we talk about inverse, you should know, since this is R, so the inverse of R is what? 1 over R. 1 over R. That is, this Q is multiplying this 1 over R. So, I will now have something like this. P with the sign Q times 1, I'm still going to have my Q. Anything multiplying by 1 will still give you that same value, or the same alphabet, or the same number or alphabet. Now, Q times 1 is what? Q over R. Now, this is joint variation. Now, the next thing you need to do, you must include your constant. You must introduce your constant. So, I'm going to have P equals to, so this sign will now change to what? Equal sign. So, I will introduce my K, then Q over R. Q over R. Then what will I do next? I'm going to do this. P equals to K times Q. I'm going to have K Q. K Q over R. So now this is now the relationship. But you can't stop there. You won't stop there because you must find your constant. The first thing you need to do is ensure you derive your constant. You must find your constant. That's the first thing you need to do. Now we need to derive our constant. Now, the value given to us, anytime they give us the value, the first value they're giving to you, or they get to you, is used in order to get your constant, to find the value of the constant. So now you can see that they gave us the value, they tell us that Q is 136, R is 16, and P is 27. So I'm going to substitute those alphabets with the values. Now, why we substitute? Now P is what? 27. So I'm going to write 27. This will now be my 27. K, which is unknown, so the K is still there. Now, what is my Q? From the question, my Q is 36 over. Now, what is my R? My R is 16. Alright. Now, so I have 27 equals to K 36 is the same as 36K. Alright? All over 16. Now, I can still break this thing down. What can divide this and this? I can break it to the lowest term. So I can divide this to the lowest term. Now, so that it will be very easier. Now, I have, if I should divide this, what can divide this? Which is 4. 4 can divide this numerator and that of the denominator. Now, we divide this will be what? 4. While this will be what? 9. So, I have 27 equals to 9K over 4. Please take note. When you see something like this is a whole number. So you need to convert it to fraction. So converting it to fraction to now be 27 over 1. Because 27 over 1 will still give you what? 27. Now, 9K over 4, here we have 27 over 1. I hope you understand we got the 9. I divide both sides, that is the numerator and base, by 4. Because 4 can divide this, 4 can divide this. So 4 divided by 16 is 4. 36 divided by 4 is 9. So that's how we got the 9K over 4. There is the 27 over 1. What next am I going to do? Then you cross your multiply. Because you multiply. Now 1 times 9K, I'm going to have 9K. Now that's for that. Then you multiply this 4 times 27. Here I have this is 8. There 4 times 2, 8 plus 2. So I have this 10. Yeah, I'm correct. 4 times 7 is 28. Yes, then 4 times 2 8 plus 2 10. Yeah, 108. Now we have 9K equals to 108. Then what do I do next? Now we are looking for the unknown, which is the K. I have to divide both sides by the coefficient of K. You need to divide both sides by the coefficient of k, which is what? 9. Which is 9. So we divide both sides by 9. This divided by 9. This divided by 9. So 9 divided by 9 is 1. 9 divided by 9 is 1. So I have only k. Now, because 1 times k will still give me what? K. Now, if I should divide this, 9 is 1. 9 we have 1, we will 1. Then in 18 we have 2. So 1 divided by 9 we have what? 12. So my constant there is what? 12. So the value of k is 12. But that's not what we have to do, because the first thing you need to do is you need to find the constant. Alright, now the question is to what? Find the relationship between the P, Q, and R. So my relationship, sorry, I'm going to use the upper region of the board so that you can see the final part of it. Now, so now find, okay, I think I can manage this side. Now, to now find the relationship already is being done, which is text. Can you see that? Or you use text. So the same thing. This relationship, because k times q will give k cube over r. This is r, please, not 12. This is r. So now, then this relationship. Then what you need to do is just replace the value. Now by saying now p equals to k q over r. This is the relationship, but that's not the final answer to that. Why? Because the k is known. And I told you, once you have used those values, you don't repeat it again. You don't use it again. Because you have used this value, you don't use it again. You use the value once. Now, P equals to K, Q over R. So, we already know the value of K. It is only K, that is the constant, that you cannot use. Why? Because you have not used the K, you have not used the K before, because you just derive the value of K. You just derive the value of K. So, then, you derive the value of K so you can make use of it while you want to get the final answer. Now, P equals to K, Q over R. Now, we know the value of K. The value of K is 12. So, the relationship will now be what? P equals to the value of K is 12. Then, the value of Q, which we don't know. Yes, we don't know, because it didn't give us the value of Q. We have already made use of this value, we don't use it again. So, we use the first question of the value given to us to derive our constant. So once you make use of it, you don't use it again. Now P equals to 12, then with the Q, then over R. So that is the answer. So my P equals to what? 12Q over R. So the relationship between that is P equals to 12Q over R. That's exactly what you're asked to do. Find the relationship between P, Q, and R. P, Q, and R. So this is the relationship. So that is it. Alright. So I'm going to stop here. So if you have any question, you can ask. So that is where I'm going to stop. And please make sure you drop your question. If there's anything you don't understand, you can drop it there. We attend to it. So may God bless you. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, sir. Thank you, Prof. So thank you for this time. We hope to see you next time. Make sure you don't have information, distribute information, and likely say, we'll see you next time anyway.